So, Jackie, taking all that into consideration, who's possibly in this class right now that's not necessarily a firm commit that you wouldn't be surprised if they jump? And then on the flip side, who's out there that maybe is committed to someone else that Dan Mullen still has a pretty good shot at?
I think Richard Gouraige, defensive lineman out of Tampa, I think that's the one you really need to watch right now. Even during the recruiting process, there were a lot of people that were close to him that had Clemson as their favorite, not Florida. They don't think Clemson was a better fit. I think being close to home is really important for his mom, and we always know mom knows best when it comes to recruiting. Moms always win, but there's still a lot of noise for Auburn and Clemson. And he still hasn't had that relationship built yet with the staff here at Florida. He has built a relationship with Brad Davis, who is now the offensive line coach at Missouri. He was at Florida previously. That was the reason why Florida actually was able to get a commitment out of him. When I talked to him last February, Florida wasn't even in it. The only reason Florida got back in it was because of Brad Davis. Now, Brad Davis is not part of the equation anymore. So it's interesting to see what Dan Mullen and offensive line coach John Hevesy is going to do to kind of switch that mindset of Gouraige and no, we still want you and we can build a relationship with you. Now, he's not going to early sign, so they have a little bit more time with him. He has not set up an official to Florida, but he's already taken an official visit to Auburn. And he's close with a lot of people at Auburn already, like Devin Barrett, who is also from the Tampa area. His family and the Gourage's family are really, really close, and there's no doubt that they're going to be in their ear moving forward. Now, the other guy that is on flip watch is wide receiver Tyquan Thornton. Now, he is an early signee. He was a Baylor commit that flipped to Florida. When Randy Shannon was one of the coaches. Randy Shannon obviously has a lot of connections in South Florida, and Thornton was one of the guys that committed to him. Now, with Randy Shannon gone, some of these South Florida guys are looking elsewhere. There's been a lot of noise that Baylor feels very confident that they could flip him, so it'll be interesting to see if he signs with Florida because he did not make his official visit this weekend. He was set to come visit, but decided to take the visit to UCF instead, which is where Randy Shannon is now coaching. So I could even see UCF coming in the last second and stealing Tyquan Thornton from Florida. Now, obviously, the Gators are also looking at kids committed elsewhere. I would keep an eye on Malik Heath, the wide receiver that's committed to Mississippi State. He's a big physical wide receiver that Dan Mullen and company really like. The Bulldogs are really pushing for him to sign early, but he has yet said that he wants to visit some schools in January. Although if you talk to people at Mississippi State, they say he will sign this week. But Malik Heath has told reporters several times he will try to take a visit to Florida, and it's 50-50 on which school that he will go to.
Gouraige, in particular, a highly valued commodity, the seventh-rated offensive tackle in the nation, according to most services, right in that top 10 range.